Alright, this is the video for 12.1. Today we're going to learn all about converting centimeters, meters, and kilometers, or kilometers. Right? So on the board I've written down two conversions that you guys need to memorize. 1 meter is equal to 100 centimeters, not centimeters, centimeters, right? And 1,000 meters equals 1 kilometer. But how big are these things? We don't know. Let me show you. Okay. A centimeter is on your ruler. It's really, really small. A centimeter is about the thickness of a paper clip. So if you get a paper clip, right? You get a paper clip and you measure its thickness. It's going to be, look, about as thick as a paper clip. Right? So 1 centimeter is about as thick as a paper clip. Right? Now, we know from Latin that centi means 100, like in century, it's 100 years. Right? So 100 centimeters equals a meter. How big is a meter? Well, 100 centimeters put together is about the size of a yardstick. This is about a meter. How tall is a meter in real life? Follow me. The way I remember what a meter is,
Where are we going?
a meter is about the size of a doorknob. So from here to here, see? 1 meter is about the size of a doorknob, from the floor to the doorknob. Very good. So 100 centimeters, little thickness of a paper clip, equals a meter, which is about the size of a doorknob. If you take 1,000 of these and put them end to end like this, you get a kilometer or a kilometer. Kilo is Latin for 1,000, right? 1,000 meters. So when I tell you guys that I ran a 5K this weekend, K stands for kilometers, it means 5,000 meters. 5,000 meters. So that's pretty far. That's 5,000 of these that I ran, and I never got tired once. Right, so that's pretty impressive. Now in your book on page 157 is where I am in my book. I'm on page 157. Right, so let's look at that together. And it kind of shows you if you're measuring distance. If you were going to measure the distance from the school to your house, you wouldn't want to use centimeters. The number would be way too big and it would take way too long to add all those up. Then you go, well, should I use meters? Meters are longer. How many of these would it take to get to my house? Right? Well, that's way too long, way too many. You'd be measuring end on end for weeks. So you would use the biggest unit, the kilometers. 1,000 of those put together. Right? So in your book, it's got the distance from your house to the school being in kilometers. Right? 1,000 meters. Now let's look at page 158. On page 158, it's got the height of a tree. It says use meters for this unit because if you use meters, it's kind of in between centimeters and kilometers. Kilometers are way too big to measure the height of a tree, and centimeters are way too small. Right? So a meter is a little bit longer than a yard, so you would use these. How many of these equal the height of a tree? Right? It also says, what about you? How tall are you? Right. Well, if I was to measure myself, I wouldn't want to use a meter stick because look, I'm not even 2 meters long. See? So it would be kind of a waste to use something this big. I would have to use centimeters. Just like you might want to use inches, you can use centimeters on your ruler. This is 30. So if I were to measure from the floor all the way to me, you'd see that I was probably 160, 170 centimeters. So this unit's all about conversion, so let's convert. All right, I'm going to keep these formulas up here, and then down here we're going to do some together. Look on page 158 at the bottom. That's where I am. Okay, it says 2 meters equal how many centimeters? Well, if 1 meter is 100 centimeters, then 2 meters, right, equals blank centimeters. How would I figure it out? Well, I know how much 1 is, so to get from here to here, it's just 1 times 2 is 2. Remember, whatever you do to the left, you got to do to the right. So 100 times 2. So 2 meters is 200 centimeters. Right? Just did this side times 2, and this side times 2. Not too tough, not too tough. Now, most of you can probably do that little problem in your head, but when the problems get bigger and tougher, you're not going to be able to. So get in the practice of doing it like that. The next one says, oh, see, look at this one. Half a meter. Half a meter is how many centimeters? Well, this is tricky, right? This one's tricky because what? But you can't go smaller, Mr. Bond. You can only go bigger. I can't do that one, but you can, right? You can. It's just 1/2 times 1 equals 1/2 times 100. It's the same thing. Do it the same way. 1/2 times 1, anything times 1 is that number, so it's 1/2. But then you have 1/2 times 100? That's crazy, that's impossible, right? But it's not. Here's the way you do it, right? Let me show you. 1 times 100 is 100. 2 times 1 is 2. So I just multiplied the top together and the bottom together to get this crazy number. Okay? That's not the answer. You can't put 100 over 2. So you just divide it. 2 divided by 100. See? How many times does 2 go into 10? 5. 5 times 2 is 10. Bring down the 0. Bring down the 0. Half of a meter is 50 centimeters. If 1 meter equals 100, half of 100 is 50. See? Get in the habit of doing it like that, even if you looked at this and said, I know what it is, Mr. Bond, it's 50. Right? If you yelled at your computer that it was 50, well, get in the habit of doing this because later it gets harder and you're going to know this formula. Tops times tops, bottom times bottoms, numerators and denominators, 100 over 2, divide it, and you'll get the answer. Okay? Watch this video over and over and over again until you get that right. All right? Let's see if there's any more to do. Oh, no. Let's see. Oh, yeah, look at number... Oh, no, I'm not going to do that one. That's one for you guys, I think. Oh, yeah. Guided Learning 1 and 2 is up to you. So your assignment's to do Guided Learning 1 and 2 on page 159. Okay? But let's skip down and go to bottom of 159 real quick and look at 3 kilometers equal how many meters? Okay? 3 kilometers equal how many meters? Let's figure it out. Okay? 3 kilometers equals how many meters? Okay? I don't know. If 1 kilometer is 1,000, right? So it's 1 times 3 equals 3, right? Then it would be 1,000 times 3. See? 1 kilometer is 1,000, so 3 kilometers is, this is the part where I wait quietly for you to answer out loud. That's right, 3,000. 1,000 times 3 is 3,000. So a 3K is 3,000 meters. Everybody get this one? Any questions? Okay, I don't see any hands, so we're going to move on to the next one. This next one's super hard. Super hard. Only the super. I think you could do it. Yeah, I think you could do it. It's 1/5 of a kilometer. Right? 1/5 of a kilometer equals blank meters. I don't know. How do we do it? Right? We got to multiply, just like we did with the other one. You got to multiply it, right? It's the only way to do it. So we know that 1 kilometer is 1,000. So we just do 1,000 divided by 5, because it's 1/5. Right? See why I told you not to guess last time? Because look at this one. It's 5 with 1,000 over it. You do it the exact same way. 5 divided by 1,000. Which seems like a really hard number, but come on. How many times is 5 going to 10? Right? I'll wait. That's right, 2. 2 times 5 is 10. Carry the 0. Carry the 0. I just did 5 divided by 1,000 and got 200. 1/5 of a kilometer is 200 meters. I bet you if I multiplied 200 times 5, I'd get 1,000. I bet you I would. All right, so that's the end of video number 1, converting meters into centimeters and kilometers into meters. Okay, awesome, good luck.